everyone, welcome to Cooking in Tastebudz Kitchen with Benedicta. Today we're going to be preparing African giant snails, popularly known as Achatina or Achatina. Those giant snails are found here in Nigeria. They are unlike the tiny snails you find in France, the escargot that is cooked in garlic butter. As you can see, these ones are really big. They are so big, and trust me, they are extremely delicious. And for my recipe today, I'm going to be using a lot of bell peppers and some tomatoes. That is why I said today we're going to be preparing African giant snails sauteed in bell pepper sauce. So I'm going to take you through everything we're going to be using today because it's a very simple recipe. It's very easy to prepare. All you have to do is to chop your preferred veggies and toss them into the pot and onto the gas stove. So before we go over to the gas stove, I'm going to go through with you guys everything I am going to be using for my recipe today. Remember, you can choose to add whatever type of bell peppers you want. If you want to add the yellow bell peppers, the orange bell peppers, any kind of bell pepper you want, you can twist it up a bit to suit your preferred taste. So for my recipe today, I am using sliced tomatoes. This was what my tomato looked like before it was sliced. My fresh tomatoes from Abuad Farms, by the way. So here I have my ringed onions. You can choose to dice it if you want. You can also choose to dice your tomatoes if you want. But I decided to slice them in ring shape today. So here we have my cubed bell peppers. I have my red bell pepper cubed. I have my green pepper also cubed. And here is my atarodo. This is what my atarodo looked like before I chopped them, okay, or before I sliced them. So I sliced my atarodo in ring shape. So atarodo is very spicy, by the way, so you can go easy on the spice depending on your dietary requirements or your preferred taste. If you do not like very spicy food, I'll advise you to take it a bit easy on the atarodo. On the other hand, our bell peppers are not so spicy. They are more flavorful than spicy, okay? So you can be very generous with your bell peppers, but remember, for the atarodo, you have to be extremely careful because atarodo is very spicy. Another name for atarodo is red scotch bonnet pepper. Okay, so I have here dried basil leaves, and I also have my dried bay leaf. So you can choose to add the bay leaf and the basil leaf. It's optional, by the way. And I also have here my freshly plucked parsley leaf. This is also optional. You can choose to add this at the end of the cooking. Optional, remember that. So we have some canola oil here in this oil jar, which we're going to be using for the cooking. And we have the bouillon cubes, the salt, and my favorite Cameroon red pepper, or rather black pepper. Now all of this are the ingredients I'm going to be using to prepare my African giant snails. But remember, this is my own recipe. You can choose to add or subtract whatever it is you do not like in this whole mix. So I hope we're good at this point because I'm about to start tossing everything into this very big pot over here. And then we'll be moving over to the gas. So I'm going to be throwing everything into the pot. We're going to be tossing it in. Then once we're done, we're going to be taking this over to the gas stove. So we have our snails in here, which is the African giant snails, our Achatina or our Achatina. We have it right here. So I'm going to be putting everything in, one after the other. That's our onion going in, our tomatoes also going in. then I'm going to be putting some salt, very little salt. I want you all to remember that snails naturally have some salt content, so you do not have to add too much of the salt. If you do, you might end up having a very salty broth at the end of your cooking, and you do not want to have that. So be very mindful of the salt you're using while cooking the snails. So I'm going to crush in some bouillon cubes, as you can see. 4 bouillon cubes. I think I'm going to make it 6. We've got 32 big snails in here. 32 big snails in here. So we want it to be a bit tasty. So I'm just going to add about 6 bouillon cubes in here. Also, you have to be mindful of the amount of seasoning you're using, because like I said, snails are salty in nature. So I'm going to be putting my bell pepper, not the atarodo, sorry. Here are my bell peppers. I'm not going to be using this until I'm done totally with the cooking. But for my atarodo, which is the red scotch bonnet pepper sliced, I'm going to be adding it at this point into my pot of snails. I'm also going to be adding my bay leaves. This is dried bay leaves. I'm going to be putting the dried bay leaves in here. By the way, the bay leaves are very, 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 very flavorful. Okay, they give your snails this very rich, distinct kind of flavor. And I've got my basil leaf here, my dried basil leaf. So I'm going to be putting my basil leaves into the pot as well. And then we're going to put some of the canola oil. We're going to be putting some of the canola oil in here. I think this should be enough. For those of you on a very low cholesterol diet, you might want to use olive oil in preparing your salted snails in bell pepper sauce. You might want to use olive oil because it's lower, much lower in cholesterol than the canola oil. But today I'm using the canola oil because I'm not watching my cholesterol, hopefully. So that is about it. We have everything in here. We're going to be taking this over to the gas stop and we'll get on with the cooking. But before I do that, I'm just going to add a bit of water before we take it over to the gas stove. So I hope I'm clear. We've got the sliced chili pepper, which is the atarodo red scotch bonnet pepper. We've got the Cameroon pepper in here. We've got the sliced onions, the sliced tomatoes, my dried bay leaf, my dried ground basil leaf, and some canola oil. Salt and seasoning to taste. And I'm going to be adding some water to this to cook. I think this will do. We do not want to flood it with too much water. So we're going to take this over to the gas stove and get on with our cooking. Okay, move it forward a bit. Now everything is in here now. You can see it's bubbling. So we're going to cover the pot and allow our snails to simmer. It's going to simmer for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Now the duration of the simmering varies. Some snails are very tough, while some snails are quite soft. And because of the difference in texture, or the difference in the texture of the snails, you have to be very careful when adding water at the beginning of your cooking. Because some snails are very tough and will require a lot more water than some other types of snails. We have the Greek snails, the ones bred in farms, and then we do have the ones that are hand-picked in the wild. Okay, so if you have the ones that are hand-picked in the wild, the probability that they're going to be needing more water than the ones that are bred on the farms is quite high. So for you to be on the safe side, you might want to add just a little amount of water at the get-go when you're about to start your cooking. So that way you don't have very soggy snails. Remember this factor, or rather this point is very key preparing a delicious pot of African giant snails. So everything is here in the mix. I'm just going to cover this pot and allow our snails to cook. Okay? Let me taste it for salt and seasoning. I think we have the right amount of salt and the right amount of pepper. So I'm just going to cover the pot now and we're going to let it simmer for about 30 minutes or 45 minutes. So let's see how our snails are cooking. Wow, they're simmering really nicely. So we're still going to cover it up and allow the water to dry.